Shawn, you've been asked this, I think it's 1,379 times, if you will wrestle again. And you spoke recently about, the idea that maybe you and Hunter could do something together again. And with the WWE UK brand and NXT in general, a lot of people think about fantasy matches with you and younger guys, maybe like a Zach Gibson from last night or a Tommaso Ciampa in NXT. Like all these kind of younger guys, the idea of seeing you with one of them is just like a dream. Is that something that you would ever entertain, or is it just kind of like you would only want to come back in a kind of tag team thing if the opportunity arose?
Yeah, no. Well, so I always try to explain it to people. So if you could take me at the younger version and put me in the ring with one of those guys, of course it would be a blast. But at the same time, I'd also like to be the younger version of me and be in the ring with a Harley Race, and a Buddy Rogers. And so, but none of those things can really happen in real life. So, that's the thing I always try to tell people. So I very much enjoy doing this, and I'm guilty of not really wanting to work for a living. I like doing this, and I've never.
Because you don't know how hard it was to get him to come down here. Yeah.
But I mean, this doesn't feel like work for me to put me in a singles match at WrestleMania. I was always thrilled to do it, but it's a very strenuous, it's a very anxious, it's a very there's a lot that goes into it. The anxiety, once you get in there, and especially when you're done, it's phenomenal. But the getting ready for it is 100% work, and I don't want to put myself or my family through that to do again to go out there and try to steal the show at 53, for God's sakes. Now it's a whole different ball of wax if somebody says, do you two want to go down and work with some other 40-plus-year-old guys or 50 or whatever and mess around and be silly, and we're willing to, you know what I mean? I mean, that doesn't seem like work to me. And so it's stuff like that I would consider, but nobody ever even talks about that. It's always me and somebody half my age, and that's just not anything that. And again, I don't mean that to be critical of anyone, but that's a lot of work. And honestly, I don't know. It's neat in theory, but I don't know.
It's tough even to live up to that expectation. If you're fantasy booking that and you say it's like, oh, this young guy versus young guy. You talk about Shawn Michaels from 15 years ago, right? That's the fantasy booking of it. And then when you start to, from our vantage point, to even start to think about that, you start thinking about, I can't do that. I'm not that guy anymore, right? Yeah. Time just takes that away from you. So are you setting it up to fail? Are you setting it up to not be able to do? That's the pressure of it, and it's really hard to deal with.
Especially nowadays. So let's just say I did it, and the match was phenomenal. The reality is, this hairline is still what it is. Like, it's all hot and it's sweaty. And even if the match could be phenomenal and everything else, you're still going to bust my chops because I've got no way not to expose to you that I'm 52. And you know what I mean? And that's the thing. You want, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but again, you want me to nip up and look and have everything look as if it was 1996 or 97. That's never going to happen because Father Time waits on no man. You know what I mean? So, I'm just saying, even if physically everything went well, there'd still be something to,
that might fall off.
Yeah, who knows? Well, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff and what do you do? And that, even does the young guy, does he benefit that much from it really when everything's said and done? And so, I don't know. It just seems like a lot of, it seems like more trouble than it's worth.